The battle for the massive $6.3 billion contract began a few years ago, and now the deadline for vehicle manufacturers to put their bid in has finally arrived. But who's gonna come out on top? In this video, I'm gonna be going over what USPS was looking for, who the contenders are, and most importantly, who is the most likely to take home the bacon. And we're gonna be starting right now. Hey, what's going on? It's Pat from Top Ticker Trades. If this is your first time here and you want to learn about growing your wealth through investing and trading stocks, make sure you start right now by subscribing and tapping that bell so you never miss a thing. I will see you guys in the video. All right, so we're going to start off talking about NGDVs. NGDVs are next generation delivery trucks. The current fleet needs to be replaced. So the current fleets are iconic Grumman LLV delivery trucks. Only two of these finalists offer electrified options. Those two would be Workhorse and Mahindra. And this is actually important because there's several environmental groups that are urging the USPS to choose an electric future over one that's powered by fossil fuels. So you may be thinking to yourself, well, why does the current fleet need to be replaced? I mean, it's so expensive. We're talking about $6.3 billion and roughly about 180,000 different trucks. So let me go over that real quick with you guys. The replacement for the iconic Grumman LLV delivery truck, LLV, by the way, stands for Long Life Vehicle, is basically worth $6.3 billion, as I said earlier. Now, USPS originally indicated that the winning bid on this contract would be chosen by 2018. Unfortunately, prototype testing and evaluation stretched into 2019, and the USPS requested final proposals from the remaining candidates in 2019, and this was in anticipation of issuing a production contract in 2020, which is now. Okay. The Long Life Vehicle was originally produced from 1987 through 1994 and had a projected lifespan of about 24 years. Okay, it lacks AC, analog brakes, traction control, and other modern technology. So why would anybody want to be in this? I mean, I'm sure this is absolute torture for USPS employees. So as you can see, it's time for USPS to do something, even though they're broke. So, along with ongoing challenges of maintaining a fleet of aging vehicles, there's been a spate of fires in recent years, and the cause of which would probably be the aluminum body that these trucks are made out of. The roughly $6.3 billion NGDV project calls for up to 180,000 trucks to be built over a time frame of about 5 to 7 years. And these trucks are supposed to feature right-hand drive, separate sliding doors for the driver in the cargo area, a payload of about 1,500 pounds, and an all-wheel drive option, among other features. Now, USPS did say that they will choose the vehicle which offers the best overall value. That being said, let's take a look at these contenders and figure out who is offering the most value with their vehicle. The competing teams are comprised of 4 teams that are split between 7 vehicle makers and are competing to replace the vehicles with modern custom-made delivery trucks. Testing on 24 prototypes wrapped up last March, and the trials took about 3 times longer than the USPS expected. Winning some or all of the high-stakes competition could validate years of hard work and pay off in a multi-year contract for any of these manufacturers. Okay, it could also determine the survival of some of these electric truck companies, specifically for Workhorse. For Workhorse, this is huge. They haven't been profitable in the past, which is one of the things that does make them risky. If you watched the video that I put out yesterday, you do know that good old Trumpy is backing Workhorse, or at least in my opinion, I believe that this is what will happen. And due to that, I would say that even without winning this entire contract, Workhorse will still survive. But with this contract, I mean, this contract is huge for Workhorse. Let's put it that way. I mean, it's gonna, if they get any part of this contract, the share price will just skyrocket. Mark my words. I said it today. All right. So what this did for the companies without U.S. automotive manufacturing facilities is that they started looking to secure possible sites. Mahindra Automotive of North America said it is on the hunt. And here's exactly what Rich Ansell, the vice president of marketing at the U.S. unit of India's automotive giant Mahindra and Mahindra Ltd. had to say. Were we to win the contract, we would build the vehicles in the U.S. and, in fact, signed a letter of intent to evaluate the former Buick City site in Flint, Michigan for that purpose. The company is evaluating sites in several other states, is what he also said. Mahindra is offering a gasoline or mild hybrid powertrain option. And then we've got the Turkey-based Carson, which makes commercial electric vehicles, is teamed with longtime USPS supplier Morgan Olson of Sturgis, Michigan. It has announced a series of strategic and manufacturing agreements with that company. The team has offered a plug-in hybrid engine option for the new mail truck. All right, so now we're going to move on and talk about Workhorse. So Workhorse was originally working with VT Hackney. Unfortunately, VT Hackney decided they weren't going to play ball anymore, and Workhorse had to buy out their position in order to keep the ball rolling and keep the bid alive. May of 2019, Workhorse announced that a group led by the company founder Steve Burns was the preferred buyer for General Motors' 6.4 million square foot Lordstown Assembly Complex. The purchase and makeover of the plant cost them around $300 million. Now, if they were to win even a piece of Postal Service business, that could absolutely make the difference between them raising this money and not. And this is according to Mike Ramsey, which is an analyst with Gartner Incorporated. Workhorse trucks are light, fully electric, with a capacity of 12,500 pounds fully loaded. For each electric charge, they can go 100 miles. And they definitely offer a great value because for each vehicle purchased by USPS, they would be saving $170,000 over a 20-year period, as opposed to one of the traditional trucks that they could possibly purchase that's not all electric. Repairs, maintenance, all that's going to be much cheaper than what they're looking at right now. So all in all, with what they can get from Workhorse, they're saving money. Additionally, Workhorse can no longer be looked at as a development phase play because They've sold their trucks to UPS in the past, and also they've got a partnership going with Ryder. Another factor that comes into play, or important factor rather, is that UPS has driven the Workhorse trucks that they've gotten 5 million miles, all right? They put 5 million miles on them. So what this means is that people can no longer say that Workhorse is still in the development phase. And that's saying a lot more than we could say for some of these other companies that are contenders. Some of these companies that are working on hybrids or electric vehicles. There's a lot more, so I hope you didn't think that was all. So Workhorse Group Incorporated can sell its zero-emission C-Series electric delivery vans in all 50 states now, after a California ruling buttressed a federal finding in the company's favor. Now, Workhorse just has to build its vans. The Cincinnati-based manufacturer is building a couple of trucks per day at its Union City, Indiana plant. Their goal, however, is 300 to 400 vans just this year. United Parcel Service, or UPS, and DHL have placed orders for about 1,100 vans. The California Air Resources Board, or CARB, issued an executive order to Workhorse, valid for an unspecified year. CARB's website does not show the order just yet. Workhorse's previous E-Series electric van received a certification for 2018. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that Workhorse is ahead of its competition. Workhorse is ready to sell trucks. They are ready to go, fully approved and certified and stamped, baby. They're ready. I think they're going to be the contender to beat here, okay? I think they're going to be the ones that either get the entire contract or a large portion of this contract. Now, USPS did recently say that they will be potentially awarding the contract to more than one manufacturer. So, I would assume that when they say more than one manufacturer, they're looking at the manufacturers that have capabilities to save them money, like the all-electric vehicles, possibly, a hybrid solution, which could mean trouble for Ford and Oshkosh, but that's another story. Nonetheless, it is a story that I would love to tell you if you have the time. So go and grab yourself a nice tall glass of chocolate milk and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and let's do this. So Ford and Oshkosh are teamed up together for their shot at the $6 billion contract to develop the next mail truck for the USPS. Oshkosh was one of the original 5 companies competing in the USPS Next Generation Delivery Program. But Ford, on the other hand, wasn't known to be a partner or a participant in its venture until the prototype was spotted in 2018. At least one prototype of the trucks, which is based on Ford's Transit cargo van, was spotted undergoing testing in rural Ohio. So Ford did later confirm that it is working as a supplier to Oshkosh, but unfortunately, Ford and Oshkosh, the entrant that they're using, has an internal combustion engine, whereas the prototypes from their contenders for this contract employ battery electric and plug-in hybrid powertrains, which could be an issue for Ford and Oshkosh. I will say this, I will say that, Ford is a U.S. company that operates out of the United States, which could mean, job creation if they were to get a part of this contract. Oshkosh also provides our military with Humvees, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think that's what it is. So, there still is a decent chance for them, even though they're using an internal combustion engine, but from what it seems like USPS wants, they're wanting more electric solutions. It sounds like the pressure is also on them to go with an electrified solution or something, more green for our environment. I guess we're just going to have to see how all of this plays out. But in my opinion, I think Workhorse is definitely going to land some portion of this contract. Other than Workhorse, we may see Mahindra, because they're also they can also create jobs in the United States if they win this contract or any portion of it. And the same thing goes with Ford. So we're looking at those three, but I think the odds are going to be in favor of Workhorse number one, then Mahindra probably number two, Ford and Oshkosh number three. And I say this because of what it sounds like to me that USPS was actually asking for. And additionally, and I covered this partially in the video that I put out yesterday, but I believe good old Trumpy is going to be backing Lordstown Motors because Trump needs jobs created in Ohio because he needs that state. And as we all know, he is coming up for re-election very soon. So what better way to secure some good old votes from the American people than to do what he promised, which is create jobs. Now, Trump tweeted about this, I believe, last May. So, tweeted about Workhorse. So, pretty good possibility he's going to be backing them up. And here's the kicker. So, USPS pretty much needs saving. They need government assistance. And recently, while the rest of the country was getting assistance from the government, it appears that our USPS did not get the type of help that they asked for. They didn't get the amount of money that they asked for, to be specific. So, what it boiled down to is that there were 4 different Republicans which were put into place by Trump that I guess were the determining factor behind how much money USPS was going to get. And I think that if they're going to want to, if they want to get that bailout, they're going to need to please good old Mr. Donald Trump. And what that's going to entail is doing what he wants, which is, giving that contract to Workhorse or giving some significant portion of that contract to Workhorse, which can then, use the Lordstown factory possibly to put out some of these new vehicles for the USPS. And that way we're creating jobs in Ohio. That is my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Please do your own due diligence because I could be wrong. There's always a chance, okay? So other than that, I think I've told you guys pretty much everything that you need to know, other than to be aware that we may not get the results or the winner of the contract may not be released for a little while. A lot of people were under the impression that the winner would be announced today, but today was only the deadline to submit your bids if you're a manufacturer of vehicles. So, with that being said, please do remember from my video yesterday, and if you haven't watched it, please do go watch it, Hindenburg Research, which is a fraudulent research company. They are shorters, people that short stocks for profit. Actually, just one guy that shorts stocks for profit. They recently tweeted some crap about Workhorse that, of course, is not true, and it's all debunked in yesterday's video. Make sure you go and watch it before you let this, David Reisner says, total effing bottom feeder. I like that. I like that. Nate Anderson is a total effing bottom feeder. And Renato Azurin, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, then I guess I'm the idiot. But she says Anderson is an idiot. I agree. Anderson is an idiot. Most definitely. And Maria Fisher calls him a mother flower. I second that notion. Nate Anderson is definitely a mother flower. And he likes to pick daisies in the park every night, every day. That's all he likes to do. Except for shorting stocks. He likes to do that too, but the only way he can do that is by lying, being deceitful, and cheating people that don't know any better. So let's put an end to this ass clown, mother flower, idiot, effing bottom feeder, man, guy, boy, whatever he is. Alright, let's work together. Work together to spread the knowledge so that this little jerk is no longer successful at taking advantage of new people, new unsuspecting Robinhooders, or people that just don't know any better, because I'm getting tired of people taken advantage of by this clown. So help me spread the word, share the videos, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed them, because it really helps me out. And remember, you're not doing this for me, you're doing this for the YouTube algorithm, alright? Now, the most important thing of all, if you're not subscribed to my channel, you need to ask yourself, why not? Because I post brand new content almost every single day, except for the days that I'm on vacation with my children, okay? Which has only happened like one time for a week or so. Other than that, man, we're good to go. I'm producing videos for you guys. I'm down. So, let's get the party started. Make sure, this is another important thing that I just remembered. Make sure that you follow me on Twitter, because that's important. And you can always hit me up on Twitter, get a really quick reply if you need to, because I check it, baby. I check it all the time. So I will see you guys in the next video. I'll see you on Twitter. The link is in the description. I'll have it up on the screen for you so you can find me by name if you need to. Oh, and please don't be sad, because I'm not really going anywhere. This isn't goodbye. You'll see me in the next video. Alright? See ya!